Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're here with your brother Mohammad Tawheed, Guidance Avenue Speakers Corner, Sunday. I'm here joined with Raspect.
There.
We're here Sunday. Also, content over everything. Please comment, like and subscribe. There's a lot of people that say, nah, you shouldn't let my man film you. He's a kafir, this, that. Whether he's a kufr or not, he doesn't propagate Islam. I haven't seen any negative propagation of Islam as of yet. So I'll still be happy to comb my hair, brush my hair and come on his channel, no problem. Comment, like and subscribe, guys. You said you had a bone to pick with me. But did you want to do it on or off camera?
It doesn't matter, though. We could do it. It's not even
I don't even know what it is.
You see the brother last week, yeah?
Who?
That was debating Jedi, yeah?
Yeah.
What's his name again? What's the brother's name?
Omar.
Omar, yeah? I personally, yeah? What is it that you said to Jedi?
Well, he's already brought it up now.
Was it?
Which I was really hoping he wouldn't do it, so it's not nice that he did, because that would just hurt his feelings. That's why I whispered it to Jedi in the first place. He's a man, he can make his own decision.
Yeah.
But from me personally, I don't want it repeated, because that's why I whispered it in the first place. But you know, he chose to bring it up. That's his prerogative, man.
Yeah, but you know what? Because I want to analyze.
I didn't rate that personally, but
no, but I think it's the original statement that he might not have rated. I don't rate the original statement because I don't understand how you come to that conclusion.
The original statement that I made.
Yeah,
I
about
said
him being mental.
I can talk to you off camera. One thing I would say is this, yeah, look, there was a reason, even me, I'm not a scholar of Islam, but that's how bad that situation had actually got. They actually felt the need to come and drag me. I'm not even a scholar of Islam.
One person, it wasn't they. It was one person.
Whoever it was, I don't know, bro. But I'm saying, whatever was going on there, they felt the need to drag someone else into it.
Yeah.
Now, when I came and I spoke, I could see. All right, you know what I said in that discussion as well? I said that there are certain topics that I can't land on personally. Like if I come and I'm listening to someone in the park, they come and they hear me and they think, oh look, it's Mohammad Tawheed, the guy who, you know, he flew down with his angelic wings from heaven and then he goes up at the end of the night. It's not like that, is it? I'm just a normal person and I'm learning as much as I'm teaching here, you know, like that.
100%.
Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Like all of us.
Yeah, exactly. All students.
And just like Omar, you get me?
Just like Omar as well. But there's one thing, Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did tell us, convey the message, even if it is one verse. But when you're conveying something that isn't correct, or you're doing it in a negative light, then remember, you're an ambassador of your faith, yeah? So, whether you like it or not, you're an ambassador of your faith. The moment you step out of your house and you say, I am a Christian, I am a Muslim, I am a Jew, I'm this, I'm that, you're an ambassador of your faith, regardless of whether you like it or not. So, I would say maybe Omar, may Allah bless him, maybe he wasn't the most suitable person to hold that discussion. Now, I did offer Jedi to speak to me after, but see, I don't know, maybe because of the rain.
I think that's where the issue is, though. I don't like. For me, Omar is one of the most genuine and real Muslims in the park when it comes to reasoning.
You know, Raspect, that was a comment that I heard. You know what Jedi said? I remember him saying it as well. Yeah, he goes.
Because sometimes with other people, it's like they're trying to prove a point. They've all got it set in their head already.
I agree.
You get me? And they're just. But when we're speaking to someone and you're having a genuine conversation, this is what Jedi was speaking about.
Right,
and the reason why I say it, because I don't know if it was said that he was mentally disturbed or whatever, yeah. But I'm saying that if like Omar is definitely saying, I'll tell you that 100%, yeah. But if you could see that in Omar. Yeah, if we bring someone else like Zachariah, who you got the shahada from, now he could be said to actually be mentally challenged right now. If you look at certain of the,
so could I.
Yeah, no,
it's subjective in many cases that we don't know their background. Yes,
I'm not even saying on a level of so can I. I'm saying at the park, the person been doing the most like mental jumps. You get me? Even when he's just shouting the thing.
Do you know one thing that isn't good though, Raspect? And I agree with your point. Yeah, well, I agree with your point, 100.
Yeah.
One thing I don't respect. Is when people will go and shame people there and there. In that video, I said to Jedi, look, I think you're hurting his ego. You're pushing his ego. You're pushing his ego.
You already done that.
Hold on.
Wait, let me finish. How you done it.
Hold on. Let me finish, yeah? And then I turned to Omar, and because Jedi said, oh, you hurt his ego. And I turned to Omar, I said, did I hurt your feelings? He said, yes. And I said, I'm sorry. I said, I'm sorry. I'm not there to hurt his feelings. Now, what I whispered in Jedi's ear was not for it to come out of Jedi's mouth there and there on YouTube. You know, like that? I didn't like that, but he's a man. He can do what he wants with the information that I pass him. You know, like that?
100%.
Now, I wouldn't I wouldn't want to speak about this further
yeah,
because it's not nice to
Yeah,
that person.
yeah,
it's
100%.
derogatory, even if you don't want it to be.
I think he's no man. He's
You know like that, and it's
he's
not
an OG
only
in the part. Omar's an OG in the
all
part.
right. You know, in terms of genuinity,
So the only thing is that English ain't his first language. So sometimes you know that something that he sees in his head, it doesn't always come out. He sees it in his head. But if you're understanding, you can understand everything he's saying.
you know what you said about sincerity. Even me,
he said you don't need scholars. Don't need scholars. That's his belief. You don't need scholars.
Respect.
You
You know, I agree with you on
He
something.
made very clear points.
All right, let's talk about our common grounds on this
Yeah,
situation, yeah?
yeah.
So yes, we both have a common ground that, you know, it's not nice to push at someone's ego, for example, and this is that.
100%.
I wasn't there to do that. Now, another common ground that we have is this, look. I believe Omar is very sincere the way he talks. And who am I to judge him? I'm no one to judge him. I'm dust just like him.
Allah knows best, innit?
Allah knows best, yeah? But it's this, look. Say, for example, I've got some science homework and I need someone to help me and I've got an exam to do, yeah? I've either got someone who's sincere or someone who maybe isn't sincere. Like Jedi said, he believes I'm not sincere. Allah knows best again. Yeah, no problem. He can say what he wants. It's not a problem. It's not a thing. But the person who's sincere, he may have limited knowledge.
Yeah.
He may even have conviction in what he believes.
And that's down to what?
That's down to lack of knowledge.
No, down to your perception of the person.
No. When he brings, you know, like what Hussein was mentioning earlier,
Yeah.
when it comes to Quran and Sunnah,
Yeah.
if it's something like what you were saying that's subjective, I think, I feel, then it's up to you if you want to take those sources or not.
Yeah.
I'm talking down to Quran and Sunnah and interpretation.
Yeah.
You know, by the way, there's something that you and Jedi say, and I agree with you in certain things, but because of the context of that situation and what I was trying to defend and promote, it did not come out in that light, and it's this. Bro, and I actually said it to Jedi. I said Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did say about one of the first people in Jahannam is what misguided? Scholars.
Yeah.
There are many scholars in this
100%.
part that Muslims will accept, and I'll say, no, I don't take from them.
100%.
Yeah?
So it's down to your subjective choice which scholars you pick.
No. Well, no,
Yeah.
no. And I'll tell you why no. Because when you understand Tawheed and you understand Aqidah, if you see from a scholar something that is deviant and defiant against pure creedal belief, then you won't take from him in the first place. But you have to first understand your own. Otherwise, you're like, what did he say? Blind sheep. You just go, anyone who talks, okay, I'm going to bend over this way and that way.
And you're meant to go against this.
You
what
go
the
against
Most
your
High put.
nefs. Obviously, you go against your desires if your
No,
desires
not
is
desires.
in the
I'm
wrong
just talking
direction.
righteous knowledge. Say if someone says something that's from the creedal brief and it goes against someone's heart, like from certain Muslims will say music's haram. Yeah? Certain Muslims in their heart, they don't believe they're going to be burned in fire for listening to music. You understand? So
there are some musical instruments that have been completely prohibited from us as Muslims.
Yeah.
For example, stringed instruments.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. Stringed instruments, haram.
Yeah.
Also drums
What,
that
in
have
the Quran?
been in hadith.
Okay.
Also drums,
So it's a hadith concept.
but it's sahih hadith.
Okay, yeah.
Bro, remember, I know you
what
don't.
kind of hadith, lad?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
listen. You're speaking from a perspective that you're not a Muslim anyway.
No,
so
it's
for
not
you,
even not being a Muslim, bro.
for you-
It's from the simple perspective of not having a time machine. So even if I was a Muslim, even if I took the Shahada right now, I cannot go back and tell you that what these man done and put in there was 100% from the Most High. I can never do that. There's no one in this part that can say that about any of their religions.
Okay.
They believe and they propagate what they believe, but it's just a belief. This is why someone like Zachariah can be a Christian, go to a Muslim, Christian, and Muslim.
That's not why, and you
No,
know.
it is. It
because
is.
you said something earlier anyway.
It is. So if he goes
Because
back,
you
the
made it
reason why I say
subjective that Zachariah could have a mental condition, right?
No, but I'm saying.
And if he does have a mental condition, couldn't
100%.
that be a full-on factor as to why he jumps?
No, but I'm saying there's people.
Allah knows best anyway,
There's
yeah?
people that are sane that have jumped from religions.
Yeah.
There's people that are sane
Yeah.
that have been Muslim and they go to Christian.
And that they've had
There's
certainty
people-
in one and then certainty in the other, yeah?
Because we never know what truly believe,
Okay.
but we know what's in our, what the
Alright.
Most High puts in our hearts.
Alright.
That's the one thing we can say is facts.
Let me tell you why. Ask me why.
And if you don't have it in your heart, then our hearts are different. Then Allah gave us different hearts.
You know, one of the conditions of being a Muslim and having your Islam accepted from Allah, you know what it is? Certainty.
Yeah.
You have to have yaqeen, you have to have certainty. If you are not certain on the day, if you are not certain before you die, your last breath, you're not certain. You know, I was itching to speak when Hussein was saying, may Allah bless him. I didn't want to cut in. And it was this. You know what you were saying about there may be some kuffar that are very good people and decent people, and they're going to end up burning. I'll narrate back about the story of one of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's uncle. In fact, the closest one to him. You might have heard of him.
2 seconds.
How's everyone doing?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. How's COE doing?
What's Raspect doing?
I don't know. Raspect, why are you running, man?
No, man, it's right here, cuz. Bring in the man then, bro.
Michael's trying to dodge, yeah? Right, you lot got your uniforms on, yeah? I didn't even notice that. Still. All right. One of the uncles of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his name was Abu Talib. Are you with me, Ras?
Yeah. Name was Abu Talib.
Yeah. So Abu Talib was one of the uncles of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he raised Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well. This is a man that protected him against the leaders of the Quraysh, protected him against those who would harm him, obviously under Allah. But he's someone that on his deathbed, he died as a kafir. He even went to be the man who the Quraysh, the leaders of the Quraysh, went to him when they wanted to make a negotiation with his nephew. He stood by his nephew, he was loyal, he looked after him. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam lived with him, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam prayed for him while he was here. But when he died upon kufr. Now this is a man of character. He had impeccable character. He was a man who was honest, he was a man who gave charity, he was a man who was loyal, all of that there, yeah? All of that rating right there on him. But what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promise this man? Jahannam, fire. Why? Because the message, and Hussein mentioned it, the message came to him, but he denied the message. So
And he was in the time when everything was going on, so you could see it. And not a thing where he's got any doubt about what happened, how it happened, he's there. So he's seen the Prophet with his own 2 eyes. So when he becomes a kafir, I can understand.
Okay.
But you're talking about thousands of years down the line,
all right,
when, you get me?
Okay,
when had two hadiths that were made 200 years later, which are still questionable. So it's two completely different things.
If we're going to go into hadith, we can do that inshallah, but this will take us another 40 minutes, and that's fine, to talk and promote about the chain of authenticity.
Yeah, I know about all of that.
The chain of narration, but that's another topic.
But I need a time machine. Only way you can make me know is to show me. But if you can't show me, I'm just taking your word for it.
I understand.
That's
you know there's something you have that I like, and I'll tell you. That's why I wanted to talk.
That's basically what you're saying to me. You're saying to me, Raspect, yeah? This is what I believe, yeah? And I want you to take my word for it. Yeah, not only do I want me to take my word for it, you get me? You're going to live your whole life based upon
Are you talking about the hadith, yeah?
Just
Quran as well?
Anything that you believe as a Muslim that other Muslims don't believe. Because that's what I'm saying. Even amongst Muslims, you have different beliefs. Your belief as a Muslim isn't superior to our next Muslims. Even in the beginning, we know that the Sunnis and Shias had fight from the beginning. Ali
okay, wait. You know we're jumping to something else now. Yeah? I don't mind. I don't mind, but let me know what you're on.
Yeah.
And we'll bang down that way.
I'm just talking in general, innit? We know from the beginning, Abu Bakr and Ali had some disagreements. Sunnis can agree that Shias, I'm not going to use no Shia sources. Sunnis and Shias can both agree that there was some disagreement from the beginning.
You mentioned one thing, Raspect, that I respect, and that is that all men are fallible.
100.
Yeah? All men are fallible.
100.
Now look, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even though he was just a man, yeah? And when he was asked about the hour to his people, he said, even I don't know the hour. Yeah? But he did this. He brought his fingers and he said, the difference between his time, which was 1400 years ago till now, the difference between from our time to the hour, you with me?
Yeah, listening.
Is the difference between this finger and this finger, very small. Yeah. So now you've got some scientists, they try and take the measurements of both fingers.
Yeah.
They do the calculation. They say, oh, if you look at this by that, that means that Yom Qiyamah is going to come in 2050 or something like that. Only Allah knows. If any man knows the hour, this promotes the humanity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the divinity of the man. Because what you are now doing is taking the omniscience of God and you are sharing it with his creation, which is what Hussein mentioned earlier, shirk, which means to ascribe and associate partners with Allah. What I was saying about Abu Talib, brother, is this, yeah? What I was saying about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala earlier was this, subhanallah. Look, Abu Talib, even though he was such a nice man, he was such a good man, because he never accepted the message, when it came to him, he will burn. Because you know what you were saying, by the way?
But he knows that it's facts.
What do you mean?
He knows. He was there. He saw everything happen, did he not?
So he saw a lot happen.
Yeah. So
I mean, he wasn't there when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam received
no, I'm not saying
from
when
Allah.
I'm not saying when he received, but he saw the whole war. He was there.
He was in a situation. He was there. He was in the heat of the moment.
Even there's people of today that in their head, there's people, I don't know, I know some Muslims can't comprehend it, but there's people that question genuinely whether the Prophet existed, whether Jesus existed, whether Moses
Muslims, did you say?
No, there's people, there's individuals around the world that genuinely have those questions. He didn't have any of those questions. Do you understand? So he's something completely different to someone that was in Grenfell Tower, that was raised in a Christian household, that all they knew was Christianity was righteousness, that never really spoken to any Muslims like that, and the Muslims that they spoke to didn't have the conduct or didn't have the message or the articulation to let them know it was the truth, and now you're telling me that person's going to burn for eternity. That is the foolishness that I'm
Okay,
talking
look, I'm
about.
going to make a very
get
heavy
me?
topic
I'm
now,
not
yeah?
talking-
Statement. I'm going to
Yeah.
make a heavy statement. Look, the best kafir in creation, in character, the best kafir in creation, in character, and the worst character of someone who's still a Muslim,
yeah.
wallahi, the one who is Muslim is better
Yeah.
than the kafir.
Yeah.
And how is this? Because we as human beings,
This is a big question.
this is a big one.
Yeah,
I told you.
I'm
this-
listening closely. Right, no, this one's a big one. That's a big
And I know you
statement.
like these ones.
That's a big
I
statement.
know you like these
Yeah,
ones. That's why I brought it. I got
Yeah,
your
come
sister.
on,
That
come
was-
on. Yeah, definitely. I'm wide awake. Yeah, I've been trying to put me to sleep a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm wide awake from the come on, I'm wide awake. You know, like that.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. All right, look. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ لِيَعْبُدُونَ. And I have not created jinn, spirits, nor man, but for worship. If you worship anyone besides Allah Azza wa Jal, you fall into the biggest kufr, the biggest shirk, the biggest sin, sorry, that is shirk.
And Allah is the creator.
Huh? Let me finish.
All right, cool.
Sorry, yeah?
Yeah.
Who is Allah? Allah is the all-able, the self-sufficient,
Most
the,
merciful.
the most gracious, the most merciful.
Most beneficent.
If you become a Muslim, I'm going to call you Abdul Rahim because you always say about the mercy of Allah. And Abdul Rahim means a slave of the most merciful. Abdul
No,
Rahim,
I'm not no
remember this,
slave.
guys,
I'll never
yeah?
be a slave.
Servant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
As you want to say, we are all slave to something
Yeah.
though, my brother.
Yeah,
We are
yeah.
all slave in this world to
Nah, man,
something.
a king, man, a king, man, a king.
Nah,
Man, a king.
nah. Do you control when you die and when you live?
Huh? Yes, by my words, deeds and actions on the planet now.
You control when you die and when you live.
Huh?
It's very arrogant.
It's whatever you think it is, you get me? I know that if I live my life trying to be, I know that my Ethiopian Orthodox Christians, the original Christians, the ones that didn't worship Jesus as a man, but the ones that had the original concept, there was one concept for to be saved in this concept, and that's to live your. One minute.
Servant doesn't mean someone who cleans for someone. Servant means that
I'm not
you're
expecting
following
no.
his law.
Yo, listen, I'm not
His law.
expecting no slave
The
statement
law,
from
the
no
servant
one,
of his law.
especially not from
Not
someone
servant
that's
of some
European.
things
Are you
are.
listening?
He's a
Are you
prophet.
listening?
He doesn't do them kind of things.
Are you listening?
Do
Let me
you
show
hear
you
me?
something. Man's not
Brother, let
taking
me,
no slave thing from no one, especially no
Raspect,
one
come
that's
here.
European
No, where you're
or
taking slave
Arab,
is something
because I
different.
know about the black,
You're trying
what
to
my
make it
black
as
people
loose
have gone
as
through
some
with
slave.
these individuals where the word slave is concerned. So I don't want to hear about no slave. Man ain't no slave, fam. Like, bun that slave word.
We are.
If you're
I'm a
servant,
slave. We're saying
yeah,
I'm a
You
slave.
can say you're a
I'm a
slave.
slave.
You can
To
be a
God,
slave.
the Creator.
You be a slave. I'll be a servant.
All right, look.
Go on.
I like
Do
the
you-
word slave.
Do you what?
You can like it. I'm black. That's why you might like
you
it.
can
You
understand.
never went through the
you
slavery
can,
we
you
went
can
through.
understand. He doesn't like the
You
word
never went through
slavery
chattel slavery, did you?
because
So
they went
you
through
might like the
slavery.
word because it was your people enslaving my people. So you are gonna like the word
white
slavery.
slaves, people.
Bro, no,
There
I'm
was
saying
white
there was
slaves.
Arab slaves as well. But they
Every
look like
slave
you,
there was.
blood. Come on,
I'm
bro.
telling you, bro, we had
That's why I
Russian
like the word
slaves.
All right, I'm gonna bring something now, inshallah. Yeah. You know regarding this
There
now.
was white slaves, bro.
Nah, be careful what you say, bro.
Man.
Be careful.
Bro, it's,
There was
it's not,
white
it's nothing
slaves.
personal.
No, it's
Don't
not,
know that.
I know, but I'm just saying, be careful what you say. Because,
And I'm sure he doesn't mean
I'm not
anything.
even
He
taking
keeps
it
body
like that,
language.
bro.
You don't mean anything
No, bro,
aggressive or arrogant.
I'm not even being aggressive. I'm just stating you need to be careful what you say in terms
That's
of
what I'm saying.
you might be talking,
I'm
you might
not
be
being
talking
bad
I'm
to
on point
your
right now, you know,
culture.
fam.
I'm telling you what happened in history.
You
They're on
can't say
point
that.
right now.
I can tell you.
Am I meant to
If
be
you ask me a question, I can
Just a
tell
little
you.
bit. From a
You
little
can't
bit.
say that.
It's that hand.
You know,
Trust me.
you know regarding this, by the way, yeah? I mean, we can go into it, inshallah. I've actually got a video coming out, so you lot stay tuned, inshallah. And we're exploring some of the ideologies in Kemeticism. All right, it took me a long time to edit this video. Yeah, Michael. Yeah, so we will actually go to see that, in fact, even though I can't empathize with you, because I didn't go through that what you went through, yeah? But I am in this day and age, this society, I could think of being enslaved by the own indoctrinate system that labels me as an Islamist, for example, which is a meaningless appellation.
Or enslaved to a scholar's ideology, interpretation of Islam.
Yeah.
You might be enslaved to that as well.
Could be. You
know what I'm saying? So that's
At
why
the
we
end
got
of
to
the day,
question
do you have
the
a
thing.
job?
That's
Do you
what
work?
the Jews do. They keep saying
what?
Semitic.
You do your
of course,
thing.
anti-Semitic.
Now,
We're
your
not
job,
talking about that. We're talking about life now.
No,
Now,
please.
We're talking about past.
bro. Do you think I can?
Past is the past.
Bro, do you think I can deal with it? Good?
Yeah.
Can I handle it?
Smack
Thank
it,
you.
bro.
I know, bro.
It's just like just
You
say
need
that.
your help.
We don't believe
That's right, you need your help.
Bro, if I can't deal with it, I can't deal with it. Habibi, it's alright, man. It's all good. So, at the end of the day, when we take the term slavery, we're not talking about the same kind of definition of slavery as you're talking about, of course.
I just
yeah?
don't like the word, innit?
Yeah. No problem. We use the word servant, inshallah. We serve the one worthy of worship, who is the Most High, as you say, yeah? The one who is above everything in his creation. There is nothing above him, yeah? Okay, we agree with this. But the fact of the matter is this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Now, when we break this down, akhi, Raspect, sorry. When we break this down, we see, when Allah speaks of worship, we need to understand what worship means. You know, when we have a job, you have to sign a copy of a contract, and it says you're breach of contract. If you do something at work, it's going to take you out of your job. It doesn't matter if you come to work an hour early and you finish an hour late, you ain't going to get paid because HR have kicked you off the system now.
100%.
You know, like that. So, if you have a terms of conditions at work and it says, okay, if you do something, it says if you do ... it leaves it empty. You're going to get kicked out of your job. It's a breach of your contract. You're going to take that back to the employer and say, what's that word? What does that mean? What is going to happen to me for me to get kicked out of the job? Similarly in Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He says...
It's mad that you choose to breach your contract.
Sorry?
It's mad that you choose breaching a contract as your metaphor as well.
What do you mean?
Some people use it because remember that breaching a contract was the same reason why they could kill the disbelievers, isn't it? Because they breached the contract.
No, but as Hussein told you, this was for a certain state,
and I know, but I'm saying
time.
It's easy to just, you get me, mesh the world.
If you take it out of context, yeah,
100%.
People
Very easy.
And scholars can take it out of context
If
they're not learning or if they're insincere.
Say if I believed in Islam, like I believed in it, like the way man believed in it. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, yeah. Man, like if I believe that what the scholars were telling me is 100% true, I might just go to Palestine right now and try to defend the thing, because like my interpretation of what that verse says could be like that. That's why I'm saying that it's dangerous. The interpretation thing is dangerous.
You know, there's something I like about you, bro, yeah? And I'll say what it is. You love the idea of Tawheed. You love the idea of the oneness of Allah. Yeah, you love the idea of the oneness of Allah.
Yeah,
I like that. That's
the
why.
Oneness of the Most High, but that oneness even goes deeper, fam. Because even though there's a oneness of the Most High, there's a oneness of creation. You get me? There's a oneness between humanity. There's a oneness in your family. You understand? Obviously, the oneness of the Most High is like the highest level.
Stand here so my camera can see your money face.
It's like the highest level. You get me? But there's levels to this oneness thing. You get me? As well. We can't just see the oneness of the Most High without seeing the oneness that we have within humanity as well. Because then we lose ourselves.
So what was I going to say, Raspect? Yeah. So.
But what's worship?
Exactly. Thank you for asking. So worship is something that we must know as Muslims or in any religion that we are doing it right. Because if we don't, then we are going to be deficient and defiant in our faith.
But if you follow your religion like a contract, should you be guaranteed heaven in that case? Is that what you're saying?
With the mercy of Allah, yes.
With the mercy of Allah.
Of course.
So there's some people who follow religion as a job, as you said, and there's some people who follow out of gratitude, out of love. And I think that's the crux of the situation.
All right, that's the next point after we lay these bricks. This is a foundation now, yeah? Worshipping Allah is like this. We worship Allah in His Lordship, yeah? Everything that I say now, I know you ain't going to reject already because you like Tawheed. This is all Tawheed, yeah? We worship Allah in His Lordship, yeah? So we know that Allah is the one and only Lord, yeah?
Lord. Yeah, this is a concept we had in Africa from the beginning. Yeah, so I agree.
Yeah. It started at the beginning of time.
We worship Allah for His worship. Yeah. We worship Allah alone, and you lot are going to agree with that as well. Yeah. Now this is where it's not that you don't. Now this is something even the Christians will say, but the definition is subjective now, yeah. We worship Allah by His names and attributes. Now, for us and for me, the names and attributes are subjective between us, but the idea of the oneness of Allah, we sustain, we keep it. For example, Raspect always refers to Allah as the Most High and the Most Merciful. Now, these are actually names of Allah. Names and attributes of Allah. So we agree on that. And then there is the judgment of Allah. Allah, one of His names is Al-Hakam. Yeah. He is the judge.
The judge. Now, and the fair and righteous judge.
Yeah, man.
This is the main thing we got to put with this judge, you know. It ain't no just judge that's going to judge you based upon any emotion. He's a fair and righteous judge. And the fairness and righteousness in your heart can't compare to that fairness and righteousness in the Most High's heart. So even anything we're saying is irrelevant compared to actually what's in the Most High. So we can't understand
the
same.
See the worship that you said, yeah? What acts of worship? So how do you show your worship, your way of worship to Allah?
That's a really good question, man. Thank you. That's a good question, man. So the way we worship Allah, when it comes down to these four things, yeah? Firstly, we need to understand, before we promote all of that worship of Allah, you know, like when you're at work, yeah? to excel to like a manager's position, you need to go through a certain amount of tasks. But at the very least, the most important thing for you to know is how not to get sacked. You know, like when you start on the bottom of the food chain, you need to know you're the one. If there's anyone going to get kicked out of the business, it's you, innit? Yeah? You're on the bottom. You need to work your way up. You need to make sure that you do things without getting kicked out of job. For example, don't smoke at work, don't have sex at work, don't have sexual relationships with employees.
I don't mean to cut you, but there's, you know, sometimes you say it's a dissertation.
Do you think I dragged?
Yeah, it's a bit of a dissertation, bro.
Maybe I'm making it too complicated.
Yeah,
what's the act? So what would you in Islam? What's the actions of worship? So if you say you're going to worship Allah, how would you worship? Yeah,
how would we worship?
Yeah, how would you worship?
Cool. All right, cool. Thank you for the question. So look, even if I go to the toilet now, yeah, I can worship Allah. Check this out, what I'm going to say, yeah, and then I'll explain it. When I go to the toilet and clean myself, this could be an act of worship to Allah. How? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
That's the godliness.
Yeah.
That's the godliness. That's in the
Well,
Bible.
it leads you to being closer to Allah. Cleanliness. Yeah. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in a hadith. Yeah.
Enough of them man were washing before the Prophet came, so you had to tell them, yo, bathe the skin. You get me?
Yeah. Salman al-Farsi, who was one of the followers of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told his people, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us how to clean. Okay, so basically anything that you do in the will of Allah that is not in disobedience to Him. Okay. And the way that we know if something is in the will of Allah is by, and this is where the hadith entwines. For example, I know what you're saying, and we'll get to that inshallah. We can do that in a separate discussion. A person who's really good on this topic, better than me, Mohammad Hijab, because I've heard him deal with it, about the chain of narration and the authenticity of it, yeah? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran to pray, to worship Him alone. But He doesn't tell us how to pray. Then you go to hadith, and that's how you learn how to pray.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked it, because my next question was going to be, so see, like bowing down, would that be like a sign of worship for someone? Okay. So the reason why I asked if bowing down is a sign of worship is because obviously, you know, in the Quran you have the bit where Allah tells the angels and the jinn and the iblis to prostrate, be bowing down. So bowing down, would that be?
Assalamu alaikum. How you doing?
Yeah. So bowing down, that's a form of worship. So is that only for Allah?
You mean bowing down?
Yeah. So
to
bowing
Allah.
down.
Okay. So I know what you're gonna get to, inshallah.
Yeah,
Are
so
you
just
talking about the Kaaba?
No.
Okay.
I'm just talking about bowing down at all.
You talk about Adam, and the Most High breathed His breath into Adam. And He told the angel to prostrate to Adam.
When you bow to someone, you belittle yourself to that person. Whether it's a human, whether it's an idol.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say, is that is bowing down? Is it only for? Is that worship only for? Is that only for Allah, basically? Yes. So then why did now the angels and Iblis in that bow down, prostrate to Adam?
Okay, that's a really good question. Thank you. All right, cool. Firstly, the Sharia of, that's a really interesting question. The Sharia of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, firstly, is different to the Sharia of the prophets before him. There were many abrogations. However, going to this is a really good question, because some people will say, the Muslims in this day, they make shirk with Allah with the Kaaba. The people back in the day, they made shirk with Allah with Adam, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He ordered the angels to bow down to Him. Now, who was amongst the angels at the time as well? It was Iblis, Satan. And Iblis refused to bow down to Allah. Now, his refusal...
Bow down to Allah?
Adam.
Sorry, bow down to Adam.
Well, you're getting somewhere. I was going to say that.
Bow down to Adam.
You basically just answered the point. Do you know why?
But, all right,
I'm going to get to that. I'm gonna get to
I know what you're going to say.
I know.
Let me address it.
The reason why is because prior to Iblis, remember, at that time, Iblis wasn't evil at that point, was he? He only became evil once he didn't do what Allah said.
Yes.
Now, we know, obviously, when you follow in that scripture in the Quran, Allah said He breathed His spirit into Adam. Yeah? At that point, prior to Him breathing into Adam, Adam wasn't alive. The only thing that was living prior to that was Allah. Now, if He breathed His spirit into Adam, that means His spirit is now in Adam. So if you're prostrating to Adam, in hindsight, you're prostrating to who? Because the only person you're supposed to be prostrating to is who?
Now, all right, let me get to that,
See what I'm saying?
Okay, firstly, the fact, there's a few points to cover here, inshallah. We're talking about the creation of the ins, so the creation of man, what they were created out of, And by the will of Allah, this is why they were created. So when we talk about firstly the spirit was blown into Adam alayhi salam, who came from no father and no mother, because he was the first of creation. You know, he wasn't begotten. He wasn't begotten, okay? He wasn't a result of sexual intimacy, yeah? And he did not come out of a woman's womb, and he did not come from a man's sperm, yeah? Okay, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took the ard from the four corners of the earth, and he gave it to Adam. This is why when people say to me, oh, Adam is a white man. Was a white man, I'll say, how could he be a white man? You take the four soils from the corners of the earth and you put them together, closer to white, you're going to have black. If anything, you're going to have a coloured man.
The darkest, they say the darkest earth was used to make Adam.
Possibly, possibly. Like, I'm not one to dispute that, okay? Now.
Darkest.
Now.
Like the sister in there.
Now, check this out now, yeah? Because remember, white is an absence of colour. Colour's not an absence of white. White is an absence of colour. Like this, in my skin, I got vitiligo on my skin. This is melanin. Lack of melanin. It doesn't mean that this part of skin has more than others. Yeah. This has less than others. Now the reason, connecting to this point, the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked for them to bow down is the same way that when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us.
Hold on, before you went far, because you was leading on to something. You was dealing with the creation.
All right.
The creation.
I like you. You're screwed on, you know. You're sharp, you know.
Because you went. Yeah, you went somewhere. I just wanted to deal with that.
I like Gabz. First time I've spoken to Gabz too. All right, cool. So, Satan, the reason why he did not bow down.
No, not Satan.
What do you mean, man?
No, because remember,
I
know
that's where we were.
No, you was dealing with, you was talking about the Adam, the clay got taken.
Yes, okay, cool.
I wanted to get into.
He was made, the 4 points of the earth, clay was taken from them, or sand, or ard, ground, dust.
He's saying the spirit. He's saying the spirit.
The spirit, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who controls all of our souls. We know this. And our souls were verily created by Allah. Now the body is a object. The soul is a separate entity. When the body dies, the soul goes where? It returns to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So then where did Adam's spirit and soul come from?
What do you mean? It came from Allah. Everything's created by Allah.
So did Allah create the spirit and soul? Does it say that?
Well, who created it?
No, because in the Quran, from what I've read, the spirit is Allah's. That soul is Allah's. It didn't say it's created.
So you're saying that
it wasn't created.
So you're saying basically that we as Muslims believe that Adam is like what the Christians say about Jesus, that the spirit is part of God.
Well,
this is the first I've heard of it, Gabz. You know that? Like, you're going to something funny now, man.
I'll show you the Quran. I can get the verse.
Is this what you were amping up to? You've gone to something else.
This is the Quran. I'll get the verse. Let's do it. I'll get the verse.
While you're doing that, let me commentate on something, inshallah, yeah?
Let me get the verse.
You know who the first racist was?
waiting to speak, go on.
Sorry, man. Well, you lot did with Hussein what Gabz is doing now, so it's all good. Firstly, do you know who the first racist was?
Shaitan.
Yeah, okay. So the reason, when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam tells us to listen and obey our mother, when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked by one of the Sahaba, who comes first, your mother or your father? He said, your mother. Then he said, and then. He said, then your mother. And he said, and then. Then he said, your mother. And he said, and then. Then he said, your father. Now we must listen and obey our parents. Now if we listen and obey our parents, does that mean that we are being obedient or disobedient to Allah? The only way we can be disobedient to Allah by being obedient to our parents or our mother verily is if our mother is ordering us to do something in disobedience to our Creator. Otherwise, by being obedient to our mother, we are being obedient to Allah Azza wa Jal, the Most High, the Most Merciful. Now when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered angels to bow down to Adam, peace be upon him at the time, is this out of obedience to Allah or out of obedience to Adam? It's out of obedience to Allah. The same way that today, the Muslims, when we are told to make sujood, prostration, in the direction of the Kaaba, does it mean that we are worshipping the Kaaba? No. Why? Because this was ordered to us from Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and obviously revelation came from Allah the Almighty.
Yeah, so to answer, the kissing is only in the hadiths. That's what I'm saying.
This is the hadith. Is all right.
So when people kiss,
if I again, if you kiss your mother, does that mean you worship your mom?
Yeah.
No. So it's the same thing, isn't it?
It's the same thing. It's with everything.
It's a cultural respect. Yeah. This kissing, or people they want to touch the Kaaba.
What I'm saying is,
example,
the reason why, because sometimes you got to take yourself out of your Muslim paradigm. And
no, I can't ever do that.
No. The reason why I say that, is because then it means that you can get away with hypocrisy. And hypocrisy is where the hottest hellfire is for the Muslims, you get me? The hypocrites, that's where the hottest hellfire is for them. It's not for the Kafirs that ain't Muslims, you get me? It's for the hypocrite Muslims. That's where the hottest place is. And why I'm saying that, yeah, so you got to understand.
Do you think that's fair?
Huh? I think that anyone who's dealing with righteousness that deals with hypocrisy, yeah, they're gonna. Remember, because we believe that Muslims are right, but we believe that you're only using 1/3 of the text.
Can I ask you, what is your faith, by the way?
Listen, I'm Rastafari.
Why are you wearing the Eye of Horus?
Because that's my Kemetic history. Kush and Kemet was one land.
Who was Horus?
I'm African. You get me?
Who was Horus?
It's a spiritual concept. Just like Anansi. You know about Anansi?
Who defines what Africa is?
You get me?
The border of Africa.
That's what I'm saying.
Have you heard of a lady called Tamara Soda?
No, I don't know about no Tamara Soda.
Tamara Soda, if you lot have heard about the House of Neja. House of Neja is basically...
You man always do this. If man's getting onto a point about man just switch it on to man.
No, it's because you said we. No, because you said we. So I want to understand your faith. But then when I saw this, because I see you lot have all got the same uniform on, innit?
No, it's my brother. Our story fashion.
Yeah, but see this
here.
It's
not uniform, it's a brother who's branded.
Alright, you see this here? You see this here? I know that this is against Rastafarianism.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. It must be. Must be. Because you know who Horus is? You know who Horus is? Horus is what they consider to be an Egyptian god. Now you don't. No.
You know what you're not true. Listen.
Shall we go into it?
Listen. We can go into it.
We're going to the Western.
You know what earlier my man said, yeah? My man said, I don't debate atheists because sometimes I don't know the knowledge on their thing. You get me?
Yeah.
What you've gone now, and you've basically done what you do with every religion. You look at Sikhism, you look at Hinduism, you look at it from a place of trying to demonize it, not understand it. And people do it, Christians do it to Muslims as well. So that's the ones who say, you get me, everyone looks at the religion from a place of demonizing it. I don't do that with Islam. So I'm free from that. You understand? I don't
so
do
you
that.
wear this because Kemetic roots?
No, what I'm telling you is the interpretation you're going to give.
But I did ask you first.
For us, we didn't have concepts of God like what you're talking. What we had is divine principles. So you say when you have 99 names for Allah, we had 99 names, basically 99 principles, 99 divine principles. Horus was one of them. Okay. Tahuti was divine speech.
Who brought Tawheed to Kemetics?
Akhenaten,
yes? I agree with you.
Yeah, 100%.
From your texts, that's what your text say. That Akhenaten, he brought
100%.
Tawheed. But check this out now, guys, yeah? The very same websites that have the text on Akhenaten also have text upon shirk. And I can show you these, and I'm sure you know about them.
I know, because there's shirk. There's some people call shirk. Muslims that you say would do shirk as well, innit?
Well, if a Muslim does shirk, he's not a Muslim anymore.
Yeah, but there's people.
You understand? Then he's a mushrik.
No, but what I'm saying is, there's people that will call themselves Muslim, and they'll still do shirk.
I agree with you.
Yes,
all right, cool.
Same with the Kemet.
Cool. Check this out now, Horus was someone who was considered as an Egyptian god. Now, it's not someone that they think is gone. Tamara Soda, that's why I asked you if you know who Tamara Soda is. Tamara Soda is the founder of Kemetic Orthodox. She has an organization.
That means nothing.
That's cool. Hold on.
Wait, listen. No. I've got to say something.
You know who she is.
I've got to say something. I've got to say something. Yeah. First thing. You're using a European as a source. Yeah. So you're going to a European to get a source from African history. It makes no sense. Yeah. And then on top of that, our thing doesn't run like your thing, where we have scholars that give us, so everyone here's interpretation on Kemet is completely different.
Would you name me one website that is reliable source of Kemet information?
No, you can't. It's within yourself. It's not like that.
All right. The reason why I say that is this. Look, you know the most prominent websites that promote Kemeticism.
Yeah.
You know this lady Tamara Soda is actually referenced in their websites. Big man thing. It's going to be coming out in a video on Guidance Avenue.
Yeah, but that's not the guys. We don't follow them guys. The guys he's talking about is like him and is like me pointing out a Shia.
No. I said on the reliable sources.
No, but it's like you're pointing out
on your reliable sources.
Or you're pointing out. Oh, you get me? It's not. She's dealing with something completely different to what I'm dealing with.
But she's not the reliable source.
Yeah.
No, you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm saying you know your official reliable websites.
We don't have any official reliable websites.
You don't have any?
No.
So where do you get your information from, man? Where do you get your information from?
It's not like that.
Where do you not get your information from?
Basically,
and this is what we're trying to understand. When people keep talking about this whole Kemet thing, it's not like what people are making it out to be. All this religion and
you put it into an Islamic.
That's like saying,
where do you not get your information from? Where's your source?
We research everything.
That's like saying, if a brother's from India, and their culture is what? Hinduism. their family and whatever they learned in their culture is what they've learned and they grew up. That's like us now saying, where's your source for that? What's your officials for your culture?
My source is Quran and Hadith. What's your source?
Okay then. So, but what I'm trying to say is it's different because the Hadith, that's your religion. It's not your culture.
All right.
Unless you're telling me your religion is your culture.
What's your textual evidence?
No, this is my point. That's a religion is not your culture. Do you see what I'm saying? Your religion.
Yeah, but where is it? What's
your
the
religion and your culture?
See, like now, you see what he's doing? See with the Quran, look, and we're gonna because you wanted to deal with it.
Yeah, but this is because it's your religion. That's why I have to deal with it.
Is Kemetic not your religion?
No, this is what I'm trying to tell you. You're not listening.
What's your belief?
No. Now you're going to something else. Okay.
Do you believe in God?
Now you're asking a different question. Let's deal with the first question.
That's about belief, bro. That's not a different question.
Let's deal with the question.
I'm just angling it different for you to answer.
I know you got a lot of questions. Don't worry, I'm gonna get there. Yeah. So what is?
He's ready for speaker's corner.
Yeah. So basically, yeah,
I like that.
Let me break it down even easier for you. Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
When you're dealing with Kemet and stuff, yeah, it's all it is dealing with education and culture and school.
Yeah.
In that particular area.
But,
hold on.
Yeah, go on.
In that
There's a big but now, yeah. A big but.
Okay.
Big round.
Big but, yeah. Nah, exactly. In that particular area, they deal. That's their culture. However they dealt with raising their kids and education, science, maths and stuff is how they done it. Now, what's happened is foreigners who've come over in history and invaded the place have now taken certain things and tried to understand these people's culture.
It.
No, they've tried to understand the people's culture. So that's like now, yeah. If Europeans now go over to, I don't know where your family from originally.
That's from Bahrain, which is next to Dubai.
Yeah.
And my mum's mixed.
Your mum's mixed with what?
European.
Okay, and what else?
My mum's French, German, Russian, Polish, English, Azerbaijan.
So that's like now, yeah. Us, some scholars now, let's say some African scholars, go over to Bahrain, and we're trying to decode your history and your culture. We take little bits from your culture, come back and say, look, these guys was doing this, and they prayed to this because we've seen this, and it looks like worship. You see what I'm saying? But then you're going to be thinking, hold on, that's not right.
I agree with your stance.
You see what I'm saying? That's what's happened with.
You see this?
That's what's happened with Kemet. Yeah.
Okay. See this? Yeah. I agree with this totally.
Yeah.
Because people can come into Islam, they take things, then you see them dancing, saying that they're Sufi, and they're going like this, and they're giving you the Hadokins and all of that. Yeah. Okay. Well, they're doing stuff like this now. Why the reason I asked, do you know the lady Tamara Soda? Is because Tamara Soda is someone that highly respected Kemetic researchers actually reference her. Do you understand? So this is where the controversy comes. But you know, I will put a video out, and obviously, you know, I welcome you lot to bring your responses with it, inshallah. Yeah?
Because what I'm trying to make you understand here is this, yeah. Tamara and all these other people, anybody, and this is the thing, because it's not religion. Anybody,
I'm gonna let you man.
Yeah, anybody can go and deal with a culture and present it in a way that they want to do. They're free to do that. The same way I can go and learn Chinese culture, come back here and start teaching people what I've learned and give it a new name. The same way Bruce Lee did the same thing. He took certain things and made his own culture. That's it. People can do that. Yeah. But the difference is with the religion is your religion, is that part of the culture? Or is the religion something different? That's what I want to know.
Like, all right, that's a good question. Yeah. Now look, bro, but don't get it twisted. A lot of what you're saying, I agree with you. I'm just saying the problem that I have in understanding is that many of the people that not you personally, but people with Kemetic belief take from, actually reference this lady Tamara Soda. Now I've got a video coming out. I'll have that explained, inshallah, yeah? Because I don't want to leave it all. Like, he's beaming. He's like, I'm going to watch this. Have you got guidance? Have you on notifications? Good. Alhamdulillah. Likewise. But would you like to deal with your point?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're going to get there. Sorry, I just wanted to... So this is a good source. I think this is Quran.com, yeah? I think this is Quran.com. You know about this website?
Use the Sahih translation.
Oh, Sahih. So, okay.
So if you type into Google, I don't know. If you go to
Sahih International, is that right? Yusuf Ali, Shakir, Mohammad, are these guys?
Yeah, use this one.
Okay. So this is Sahih International, and it
Surah
says,
Al-Hijr, verse 15. Read it out.
And it says,
wait, no, sorry, that's chapter 15.
And it says, and when I have portioned him and breathed into him of my soul, because the crate that's been added, my soul, then fall down to him in prostration. So who's... All
right, now watch this. Okay. All right, let's explain this, inshallah. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, for example, my creation, does that mean that the creation is part of Allah? No. So when he says my universe, Allah created his universe. So the universe belongs to Allah, so he says it's my. See that what you're holding in your hand? Yeah. Can you make a sentence to tell me how this belongs to you?
What do you mean? As in what?
Create a sentence for me in English language, how this pad, whatever it's called, yeah? I'm so fresh. Yeah, huh?
I bought it.
Yeah, it's yours, yeah?
It's mine, so I bought it, yeah.
It's what? It's yours.
It's mine.
It's mine. You said it's mine.
Yes.
This will tell someone it's yours. Yeah? Okay, fine. So when Allah says my soul, because all of our souls, as I mentioned to you earlier, belongs to Allah. It doesn't mean that it's part of Allah. My phone, phone is mine, but it doesn't mean that it's my part.
That's fine.
You understand?
So then now, where did the soul? When was the soul created? Because then this is what we're going to get to. Because
how does that matter?
It does matter.
Obviously, it came after. Obviously, it came.
The process of we can't say obviously. The reason why we can't say obviously, is because remember.
You don't know what I'm saying obviously to.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. No, but the reason
obviously you're a black man. Can I say obviously?
That's fine.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm trying to say is
is that subjective?
That's subjective.
He's been under the sun.
Yes.
Where you lot from?
What do you mean?
Subjective, yeah?
Yeah.
Come on, you lot are black man.
Nah, bro.
I'm an Arab man.
I mean,
I'm half Arab, half Caucasian.
No, but truth
you're a
is,
black man.
But truth is, white man gave us that terminology, right or wrong? It's English language.
You're a coloured man.
No.
No?
No.
All right, can I say you're a man?
Yes.
So if I said obviously you're a man, is that fine?
That's fine.
So do you have a problem with me saying obviously?
No, I hear that. But the reason why I'm getting into the point that we're talking about, because look, it says, when we have properly shaped him and I've blown my spirit into
by the
him,
way, you know when it says we, just to note, inshallah,
you're talking about royal we.
It's majestic plural
That's fine.
for Allah. Okay, when it says we. When you translate the language, this is a majestic plural. It doesn't mean that Allah is with someone else.
Okay then. So when he's saying he's blown into Adam my spirit, yeah? He's blown into Adam my spirit.
Yeah.
So you're saying that this spirit is just something that belongs to him. Is that what you're saying? Because now
everything was created by Allah. So Allah is the only uncreated.
Fine. So
even this universe created.
So then is Allah a spirit or so what is he?
Allah is Lord. Allah is Allah.
Yeah, is he a spirit?
He's the all seeing. He's the all hearing. He's the all able.
Is he a spirit or soul?
We cannot know. We can. All right. For example, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala says, وَسِعَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Allah's throne extends over the heavens and the earth. Yeah. If Allah has a throne, this means maybe he sits on his throne. For example, if someone doesn't look at the Quran, but does that mean that Allah has a body, a human body to sit?
Does he have a body?
Huh? When it says Allah has a footstool as well, does that mean Allah has a foot to put on? We'll say yes. Allah has a foot. But the kufr is this: when you take the Quran and the explanation and you associate it with creation, for example, if I said Allah has a foot, it's like my foot. What I have done, it's like if I was to get a chicken and the chicken has a foot as well. And I say, look, I've got a foot, the chicken's got a foot. But can you make a comparison between the both? No. Does Allah need feet to stand? No. Allah doesn't need anything and it doesn't befit his purpose.
Does he have feet?
Yes, because, Allah's got a foot because it says he's got a footstool.
Okay, so what's his foot for? Regardless, if it's not like anything we know.
There are many questions that are not there to be answered.
But then
Allah is the all-knowing.
But then, if he has a feet, if he has feet,
yes.
We know that his feet is for something. Regardless of what it is, he has feet, and it's for something.
To be worshipped.
But we can't worship. How are you going to worship a feet and you don't know why? Because why does he have the feet? Why does he have feet?
Okay, let's answer this now. Yeah. This is a good question, but what I will say is this to you. The same way you're saying this to me, I can use these ideologies with you as well.
Okay.
The questions that you're asking me now are atheistic questions. They're not theist questions. They're atheistic questions.
I feel it's simple questions.
You believe
saying Allah has feet.
Do you believe in God?
Do I believe in God?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe.
Oh, you don't believe in God?
I don't believe in God.
Ah, my bad. I actually thought that you were a believer.
I know there's a creator.
You think he is God?
I know there's a creator. I don't believe in God.
Are you the creator?
Am I the creator? I can create. I don't.
Are you the ultimate creator?
No, I'm not the ultimate creator.
All right, he's not God. Do you think you're God?
What do you mean?
I don't know. He just said you think you're God.
God, what? In what sense? Like, what do you mean by do you think?
Are you God in any sense?
Yeah, because if I'm saying I'm the creator, whatever that God or whatever that entity is, it's in everything.
So you mean by definition, or meaning if you create something, then you are God of that?
No. So basically, if you're saying that God is the creator, yes, and this is part of His attributes, yeah, and I can create the same way you can create. Many of us can create. We can create art, we can create chairs, we can create. This is an aspect that we've got.
Let's deal with this.
And this is the reason why I wanted to get into this whole thing with the spirit, because prior to the spirit,
I have addressed it to you.
No.
I have addressed it.
I know. But prior to the spirit getting into Adam, yes, he was not alive. He was not moving. He could not have the attribute of creating, knowing what love is, any of these emotions which are attributes of the creator Allah. Yeah.
Right.
But now, once that spirit has now gone into Adam, he's alive and he has all these attributes, which belong to who? The Creator. You see what I'm saying? So obviously that shows me that whatever was put into this Adam, which was just clay at the beginning, and was not moving, whatever was put into him from this being
must have been divine like God.
It had to be the same thing, because if it was from nothing, how did we now get the attributes of creating and all the things that Allah has?
All right, let's deal with this, inshallah, yeah? I'm going to post something to you, but you will know from my example and from my character that I'm not saying it out of a mockery. I'm just saying it just to show you how absurd the claim is that you're making.
Okay, you said. Okay.
You eat food. That food goes in your stomach. You know, you have that ackee and saltfish or whatever it is, yeah?
Nice, good.
Good, I like that as well. I like that as well. All right, you eat that. Curry goat, jerk chicken, all of that. Festival. That digests in your stomach.
Fine.
6 to 8 hours later, it comes out in the toilet.
That's fine.
Would you say you're a man?
Would I say what?
Are you a man?
What's a man?
Your excrement that comes out of you, is it a man?
What? No, my feces?
Yeah, your feces, is it a man? Yeah, but you created it.
What, the feces?
Yeah.
Why should it be a man?
Exactly.
No, that's not the case.
Exactly.
No, but the reason why
exactly my point.
But
why no?
No.
Explain,
because
please.
the reason why we got to deal with this point with the spirit and the soul, because remember, hold on.
Gabz, please
we're
deal
dealing,
with my point.
Yeah, no, we're going to deal with it, because the difference between that is you're dealing with Allah and this is creation at the beginning.
Because look at the analogy I gave you, and you can't even answer it, man.
Let me answer.
Please answer.
Okay, because prior to creation, what was there?
Prior to you eating the food, was there the feces?
No, hold on.
Exactly.
No.
Please answer it properly.
Let's deal with the creation from the Quran. Prior to Allah creating, what was there?
Can you not answer the analogy?
No, what was it? What was it?
Bro, I'm not trying to catch you for embarrassment. Wallah, I'm
no,
not.
I know that.
We're all on YouTube, man. And there's all trolls out there.
That's fine.
There's all trolls out there. They're going to talk against you.
That's fine.
They're going to talk against me. I don't care. I don't give a toss.
This goes to my point.
Any of you. Wallah.
No,
May Allah guide you and guide us all, inshallah.
The reason why this goes to my point, is because prior to creation, we need to know what was there, because when you're talking about the feces, other things was there, which I had to take in, which then made the feces.
Nothing came before Allah. Nothing came before Allah.
So prior to creation was just Allah.
He neither begets nor was begotten. Allah's always been there.
So prior to creation was Allah.
Allah's always been there.
Okay then, so then where did the creation stuff come from?
From Allah.
Okay, so then what is the creation?
Allah is the creator.
So what is the creation then? You just answered. What is the creation?
The creation of Allah.
So it's Allah then? Surely.
Okay.
You just said prior to creation was Allah, and creation came from where?
All right, let's go into this now.
So then what is creation?
You can't do that with me.
It's serious
though. You can't do that with me. You can't put words in my mouth.
Isn't
I'm not that guy that's going to go, I'm not going to stutter. I don't stutter.
Okay,
Alhamdulillah, look.
Go on.
As I said to you, that feces, you don't want anything to do with that feces. You flush the toilet.
Yeah, but
you don't want to hold it in your pocket.
But it came from
somewhere. But
somewhere.
that feces came from you, yes?
No. The feces didn't just come from me. The feces was food which I'd taken, which I'd eaten, like you said, the ackee, which is things that was out there. But we're talking about
But then when this brother here said to you, you think you're God, and then the only reason why I use this analogy is because of your thesis of understanding. When you said to me, what do you mean by God? I am God of anything I create. You created the feces.
No,
you created that feces. Your intestinal system made that food into feces. Now you tell me.
So the feces part of me. Is that what
are you the God of the feces?
No, I'm not the God of the feces.
But you made the feces.
The feces was part of me, yes.
But you said that anything that you create.
Yeah. So then it's
the feces was part of you.
Yes.
Then you got rid of it.
That's fine.
Is it part of you anymore?
It's still me, but it's
Are you the God of the feces?
No, but it's still me.
Are you the God of the feces?
I have to be the God of it. But
you said you're the God of anything you create. You created the feces, therefore that feces is part of you.
Listen to what I'm saying. It's the same thing like this. If I was to cut my...
You see what I'm saying?
No, but listen.
I swear, I genuinely like you.
Why are you not
but
gonna
at this point, I swear you're digging.
You're not going to let me speak, though.
Go for it.
Listen. If you cut yourself and blood drops on the floor, the blood that drops on the floor, is that you?
Is the blood me?
Is the blood you?
No, because my thesis of understanding is different to yours.
Okay, so stop there. So
my thesis is different to yours.
Let me answer.
You're the one who said what you create, you're the God of,
Let me answer the question. So that blood that dropped on the floor, you just said that's not you. So then now, if a murder takes place and the forensic team touches that blood and does a DNA swab and they find out that it belongs to you, then what?
Then you're confused. I swear you're confused.
So they can't take that blood and find out that it's you?
Of course it can.
So then you just said the blood's not you though?
Because that blood is your signature, isn't it?
You just said it's not you.
You see this eye of Horus. All right, hold on.
You just said the blood's not him.
Of course the blood's not me.
So who is it?
The blood was inside me. But your thesis.
So how do they know if they take the blood? How would they know that it's you?
I like this topic. Let me address this now.
How would they know that the blood is you if they take?
Because with blood, I'm not a scientist. What does blood have that they can tell it's
you, bro?
DNA. Yeah. It has your DNA.
All right then.
Which is your signature, right?
Fine. Thank you. So the spirit, which we have.
Whoa, you just went from DNA to spirit.
Listen.
No, yes you did. Go stick on it.
So
you're changing the subject?
No.
Why are you changing the subject?
You don't let me speak. So the soul now, which we have, which is now in us, which came from where?
God.
Is now what?
So you're
is now what in us? Is now what in us?
So hold on. The same way you're trying to compare the spirit to God, yeah? The reason why I brought the analogy of feces for you is because it's the most disgusting thing that I can think of. And wallahi, you said to me that anything that you create, you are a god of.
I didn't say that. I didn't say anything you create, you're god of. I said we have the attributes of the creator, so we can create. I didn't say I'm the god of everything. I didn't say that. I said we have attributes. So where did we get the attributes? If we don't have the creator in us, where did we get the attributes?
Whose camera is this?
That's Kalam's.
Yeah.
I think it's his, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Where did...
Callum, is that your camera?
Yeah, that's his.
Please, with all respect, I don't want to be on your channel.
Yeah.
Could you turn it off?
I think he might be showing it on me. Is it on me? Just put it on me then.
I don't want my voice, I don't want my... He knows this from years, from day.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want anything associated with his channel. Okay. Now, if that's on, I'm not speaking. So I don't know why he's done that, because he knows that I don't like that. No, I don't want my voice on his channel. He knows this for a year. And he knows that already. And I'll ask him about this. I'll hold him up on this now. I won't continue on this.
Oh, okay. Let me try and clear it.
Yeah, chat to him, because I'm not going to continue on that point.
Is it off, yeah? Turn it off? Yeah, I think it's turned off. Say again?
It's not recording.
It's not recording, yeah? Yeah, it's not.
So why would he stick it in my face like that then?
Just turn up now.
So what, if you shut this, does that mean it's off?
No. I think it's off. It's not the red button.
Turn the recorder. Just turn it.
He
turn it off.
He turned it off. Mohammad, it was recording. You just turned it off.
Yeah, all right. So it's off, not even audio.
Ask him, he's there, innit?
I stopped recording.
Yo!
Do you want to check? Check.
Turn my camera.
They're both
No, it's right, it's his camera. We've got no permission to touch it. But that's why I asked him.
You're doing the camera.
No, my voice is on it. I don't want to be on your channel. You know that already.
No problem. Gabz is on the camera.
My voice is on your channel. I don't want that. You know that.
I don't do with the semantic, but
No. I've always been like this.
I hear you, but it's
I don't need the.
It's Speaker's Corner.
He knows this already.
About your camera, but
it's cool. I'll turn it off if he says that. I'll turn.
Hey, look. We don't need to get into this. Bro, we don't need to get into the semantics.
That's off.
I wouldn't let.
He knows. I don't know why he's doing it this week, because he knows for a year I don't like to be on his channel. And he said he respected that. Obviously now it's different.
Gabz, I'll let you make the call, my brother.
Discussion doesn't carry on.
He turned his off.
But I mean, you don't want to run. You're on a run right now. You don't want to.
I'll stick to my gun, mate. I'll stick to my gun. He knows for a year I don't like to be on his channel. It's Speaker's Corner, but if a man's going to shove a camera in my face and I don't want it, I'll tell him move the camera, or I'll move, innit? So I'll move. If he wants to go on stubbing like that, I'll move.
What are you saying, Gabz?
Yeah, there's going to be no point, because this is my thing. Obviously, we need the camera.
And it was getting interesting as well, you know.
I mean, that's why I figured it would have been good if we
my
left
cue
it.
to pray
I think it's alright though.
Huh?
I think it should be alright with it for now.
I don't film him. He doesn't film me. I don't know what changed with him. I don't know what changed with him this week. Huh? I don't like getting filmed by channels I don't trust. What did I say in the beginning of your video? I'll only get filmed by people that I trust. Simple. It's a free country. You can shove that camera in your face.
Nah, we have to leave
That's
it.
all right. That's it. You got to leave it.
We have to leave it, because then obviously there's no point in it. Because obviously we're gonna have to leave it. If he's not gonna video and you can't have it videoed, we're gonna have to leave it.
No, but you man can't done the debate like that.
Of course I can.
Dead.
Then talk to your boy, man.
Man want to come back in. I still want to tap back in.
I was enjoying this.
I was still trying to tap back in, because I didn't get to finish my thing. My team got hijacked. I'm just letting y'all know. My team got hijacked. Watch the amount of times that man speak compared to everyone else, blood. So, let's deal with it, man. Let's talk. Let's turn off the camera, man. Don't matter, fam. Obviously, people get.
Oh, yeah. Tell him, alright, sorry.
I thought that was my channel.
Huh? Chicken?
Oh, you taking a picture? Yeah?
Callum, what's changed? You changed your mind?
Now, you know what? I want you to finish this because I think Gabz has got you. Don't run, man. Stay there. Camera's on.
I don't order. No, that's cool, but what made you change your mind?
From what?
From knowing that I don't like and respecting my word to disrespecting my word.
That's why you want to film. You want to film Gabz.
Yeah, but I didn't want my voice in it either. Come on. What difference does it make if it's my image or audio?
Get back to the debate now. That's the only thing, man. Get back to the debate, man.
Yeah, that's my cue. Let me pray and I'll come back.
Yeah, let's come.
Yeah, my mic's with you, innit?
Oh, you sure? Yeah, leave it with my mic. I don't want to, just in case anything goes missing, you know?
There's a lot of people. I'll say, when I I don't propagate it like how. Yeah, you can carry on my check.
I'll be here.
Well, no, he's going to pray, innit? Ah. He's going to pray.
Yeah, go deal with it, man.
I'm dealing with it. That is still.
I want to come back. I want to tap back in. Cause I still want to deal with you on this Kaffir thing. Because we don't know the truth and you hide it.
Okay.
You man are the Kaffirs, we're not the
We're not the
Kaffirs.
Kaffirs, fam. And this is what I was getting into.